Okay, so we're still looking at question two, the third part of it. We've got our demand function and we've got our supply function. Remember, a function just shows the relationship between two variables. Okay, so the demand function shows the relationship between demand and price. The supply function shows the relationship between quantity supplied and price. Mm-hmm. Or these are the standard functions. Not really standard. Sometimes you find they'll make P the subject of the formula. That's one it's called the inverse demand. Even this one, if they made P the subject of the formula, it will be the inverse supply function. So sometimes these functions they'll look different. Okay, madam. There's no real standard, but just remember when you see QD, just know that's the demand function, QS supply function. I hope I've answered your question, madam. Or if I haven't answered, please rephrase it. Okay, so we're on part three, where there's a subsidy that has been included. All right. So as I said, whenever there's tax or subsidy, with the demand function, attach PB, the price the buyers pay. And with the supply function, it should be PS, the money the suppliers receive. So in this case here, we've got a tax that has been added. So the first thing, remember this formula, what the suppliers receive is what the buyers pay plus the subsidy. When it's tax, it's minus tax. But when it's a subsidy, it's plus subsidy, plus the subsidy. Remember, subsidies, this is aid by government to industries, can also be financial aid, okay, or maybe the lessen restrictions. But government is trying to help producers within a nation. Okay, that's why it it also tries to also benefit, because us customers will also benefit from subsidies. When things are subsidized, things become cheaper for us. All right, so it's like government's help to the nation, basically. Okay, so the subsidy of 5 kwacha has been added. So PS equals PB plus 5. All right. So we had, so step one, you form this equation. Step two, adjust the supply function. So our supply function is going to become 2 PS. We substitute with PB plus 5. Yes. So we just expand this function. 2 times PB, that is 2 PB. 2 times 5, that is 10. Okay. Once you have done these 2 steps, the final step is now you can equate the demand function to the supply function. It's a QD equals QS. So this side we have demand function 120 minus 2pb equals our supply function 2pb plus 5. So it's a matter of algebra here, like terms together. So this positive 5, we move it over the equal sign, it becomes 120. Oh, not 5 here, it's 10-ish. Yes, so the 10 comes over the equal sign, it becomes minus 10 equals the 2pb crosses over the equal sign, becomes plus 2pb. 120 minus 10, 110. 2pb plus 2pb, 4pb. To get the value of pb, the price the buyers pay. Yes, those with calculators, 110 divided by 4. 27.5. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Now we find PS, how much the suppliers are receiving. PS equals 2PB plus 10. Oh, PB plus 5 ish. Where am I putting that? PS equals PB plus 5. This first equation we put here. All right, so we substitute PB with 27.5. 27.5 plus 5, what do we get? 32.5 watch. Okay, then we can get the quantity. Okay, you can either substitute PB equals 27.5 into the original demand function. Okay, or you can substitute PS equals 32.5 in the original supply function. So the original supply functions, this is the easiest here. Okay, let's substitute 32.5 in the original supply function. So Q is going to be equal to 2 PS. So 32.5 times 2, 65, yes. Yes, colleagues, queries, questions? We can move on to the next question. Mm-hmm. Did someone raise their hand up? Mm-hmm. Who's raising their hand up? Yes, what's the question? Okay, we can move to question three then. All right, so we have this demand function, QD. Okay, now here, this demand function is showing the relationship between quantity demanded, the price of the good, in this case it's potatoes, the price of the substitute product, which is wheat, and the income. Okay, quantity demanded is dependent on these three variables here. Okay, the price of potatoes, the price of wheat, and the income, the general income of the nation. Okay, and we also have our supply function here, which is also affected by the price of the good potatoes, the price of wheat. PL is the wages of unskilled labor, which is the price of unskilled labor, which is just basically the wages. And R is the inch of rainfall, the inches of rainfall. Okay, so quantity supplied is dependent on these four factors. Colleagues, any questions before we move further? This is a realistic demand function. Okay, the previous one we saw it was just price and quantity demanded. Now here, it's more realistic here because remember there are a lot of factors that can affect quantity demand. It's not only price of the good. Okay. Any questions before we move further? Okay, so where P is the average wholesale price of potatoes, kwacha per meter. PW is the average wholesale price of wheat, kwacha per meter. Y is the income, GNP in billions, gross national product. PL is the average price of unskilled labor, kwacha per hour. And R is the average annual rainfall in inches. Both QD and QS are in millions of meters of potatoes. Part 1. When quantity is expressed as a function of price, determine the demand for and supply of potatoes if the price of wheat is 4 kwacha, the income is 7,500 billion, the average price of unskilled labor is 8 kwacha per hour, and average annual rainfall is 20 inches. Colleagues, what are we supposed to do here? What do you think we need to do here? Let me bring that information on the board. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do there is we need to substitute those values we've been given into the functions. Okay, so here the price of wheat is 4 kwacha. So in the demand function and in the supply function, where there's PW, we substitute with 4 kwacha. Y is 7,500. So where in the demand function, substitute Y with 7,500. PL is 8. So in the supply function, substitute PL with 8. R is 20 inches. So substitute the in the supply function where there's R, substitute it with 20. So we do that. So we start with our demand function. QD equals negative 1,450 minus 25p. So p stays as p because you haven't been given any value. So p will remain as p plus 12.5 pw. So pw is the price of wheat. So we substitute pw, this pw here with 4 kwacha plus 0.2y. We substitute y with 7,500 yes. So we do our tabulations here. So 0.2 times 7,500, what value do we get? Excuse me. 0.2 times 7,500. Anyone with a calculator? 1,500. Okay. Then 12.5 times 4, what do we get? 50 plus 1,500. Okay. So let's see. Okay. 50 times, oh, not times, 50 plus 1,500, that's 1,550 minus 1,450. Okay. Or you can say negative 1,450 plus 1,550 because they are like terms, so you add them together. Okay. So 1,550 minus 1,450, what do we get? Or negative 1,450 plus 1,550. I hope I'm not confusing anyone here. We're just adding these two numbers here. What value do we get? Yes, I heard someone say something. 100. Okay. So we can write our demand function like this: 100 minus 25p. Okay. Yes, that is our demand function. Yes, colleagues, any questions? Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Next, we do it now to the supply function. We see, let me write it down here, negative 100 plus 75p minus 25. PW, we said we substitute it with 4. That's the price of wheat, so that's 4 kwacha. Minus 12.5 PL. PL is 8 kwacha. That's the price of unskilled labor. So that is 8 kwacha. Plus 10 ARA. ARA, what value did they tell us for ARA? 20. So plus 10 ARA. So plus 10 times 20. Okay. So 25 times 4, I know that is 100. 12.5 times 8 plus 200 here. Okay, so negative 100 minus negative 100, this gives us negative 200. Negative 200 plus 200, that is 0. Okay, so our supply function is negative 100 plus 75. Yes, any questions? So this is our supply function, and we have our demand function. Okay. Second part of the question is calculate the surplus or shortage of potatoes when P equals 1.5, P equals 2 kwacha, and P equals 2.5 kwacha. So here it's just a matter of substituting these values of P into both the demand, and the supply function. So this is what we must remember. When quantity demanded exceeds quantity supplied. What did you have, colleagues? When there is more demand than what can be supplied, is that a shortage or a surplus? Shortage, yes. And then when quantity demanded is less than quantity supplied, that's when we have a surplus. Okay. So we'll start with when the price is 1 kwacha 50 ngwe. We'll substitute it into the demand function and we'll substitute it into the supply function. We're going to see which one is greater. Okay. So we say when P equals 1.5 kwacha, we put in the demand function QD equals 100 minus 25 and substitute P with 1.5. So 1.5 times 25, what do we get? 100 minus 37.5. Hmm? 62.5. All right, so quantity demanded 62.5 million. I think the medals were in what? In millions. 62.5 million medals. Now we find out quantity supplied. So it's negative 100 plus 75, open brackets, 1.5. Is 75 times 1.5. 112.5. That would get a negative value. Colleagues, when quantity supplied is negative, what do you think that means? Quantity supplied 12.5 million medals. Okay. So here, what do we have, colleagues? Do we have it? Huh? 112.5, yes. So negative 100 plus 112.5. I think I should have wrote that. I just went to the answer. Yes. So colleagues here, do we have a shortage or a surplus? Yes, we have a shortage because only 12.5 million medals of potatoes can be supplied. But the demand is great, 62.5. Okay. So let's see what happens when we increase the price to 2 kwacha. When P equals 2 kwacha, so we get quantity demanded QD equals 100 minus 25. Substitute that P with 2 kwacha here. Yes, what value do we get? 25 times 2, that is 50 kwacha. 100 minus 50 kwacha. Quantity demanded is now 50 million medas. We can see the law of demand in play. We've seen the price has, at first it was 1.5, it was 62.5. Now the price has increased to 2 kwach and demand has gone down. So since the price has gone up, what do you think will happen to supply? Since the price has gone up from 1.5 kwacha to 2 kwach, what do you think will happen to the supply? Will it increase or decrease? To have an increase, yes, law of supply. 75 plus 2, that is 150. Negative 100 plus 150, that gives us 50 units. So supply is 50 million meda of potatoes. What do we call this, colleagues? Quantity demanded is 50 million. Quantity supplied is also 50 million. What do we call this in economics? When quantity demanded equals quantity supplied. Yes, equilibrium, yes. Now the price increases to 2.5 kwach. So expect demand to go down and supply to increase. So here, what we can see in this question, we're moving from a shortage to equilibrium to a possible surplus here. Okay, because as the price is increasing, people, suppliers of potatoes, want to supply more so that they can make more money. So when the price becomes 2.5, quantity demanded, QD equals 100 minus 25p. So we substitute p with 2.5. So 25 times 2.5. Huh? 62 point, yes. 100 minus 62.5. 37.5. So this is the quantity demanded, 37.5 million. It's in meters, yeah. Then quantity supplied, you're going to say negative 100 plus 75. Um, we substitute. So 2.5 times 75. 75 times 2.5. 187.5. Huh? Okay, the negative 100 plus 187.5. Okay, it's 7.5. Yes, so just hold on. I'm just replying to a message. But we can see that the supply has increased and is exceeding the demand. So here we have a surplus now. Now this part here, part four, for calculate the equilibrium price and quantity. You're just equating eh, these two functions here. This 100 minus 25p equals negative 100 plus 75p. So let's solve now. Let me see if we've understood. So let's calculate the equilibrium. We already know the equilibrium price is 2. Okay. But I just want you guys to calculate it, to find the quantity. How to find the equilibrium quantity? Mm-hmm. Our calculations giving you a price of 2. Then once you've got your price, since we already know our equilibrium price is 2 kwacha, you just substitute it into the supply function or the demand function, and you get, oh, we already got the quantity here already. It's 50. Yeah. So basically, in this question, you don't even need to do the calculation. I've already got the price and the quantity. So, yeah.